7 p.m. We'll call our regular council meeting of January the 14th, 2025 to order. To me and council, it's a pleasure for us to serve on Central York Municipal Council. This, I say, is begin our 3rd year of existence. Thank you to our staff that truly makes this a pleasure to serve here. Thank you. Notation of councilors in attendance.
Yes.
Thank you. Approval of agenda, but we need to amend the agenda just slightly. And I'll add these amendments. A motion to approve the 2024-28 Central York Capital Investment Plan, and that'll be G under new business. So with that slight amendment, could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
Moved by Councilor Brownlow. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilor Annis. Any questions on the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. Do we have any declaration of conflicts of interest this evening? Hearing none, we're okay. So number 5, the election of deputy mayor for 2025. We're going to move that down just after our delegates here. So we'll call our delegates to see who will join us here, and we have Mayor Brittany Merrifield, which is she's president of the municipalities of New Brunswick. And we have Dan Murphy, the executive director of the municipalities of New Brunswick. We have, you have until about 7:52, so could be 7 if you read it.
I don't think we'll be all that long, but
So welcome on behalf of council. It's a pleasure to have you here, and we'll turn it over to you and carry on.
great. Well, thank you, Your Worship and council members. Thanks for having us here tonight. We have a short presentation that we sent along that we'll go through. Then afterwards, happy to sort of take any questions or comments or any discussion you want to have with us. So we'll dig right into it. So tonight we're just going to go through a bit of a refresher. I know you know who we are, but we're going to go a bit through who we are, what we do, talk a bit about our members, some of our advocacy priorities that we're working on with the provincial and federal governments. We'll look at our resolution process, talk a bit about member services, and then finally go through some of our events for the year that might be of interest to you. You'll notice since the last time we were here, our branding's been updated. We kind of got a nice fresh new look. We look like we're now in the 21st century, which is exciting to us considering we had a logo from 1994 that really did represent us very well. So the new brand is really nice to see on that. So for us, UMNB this past year celebrated our 30th anniversary of existence. Founded in 1994, we're a bilingual association of 58 local governments. So we've added a couple of members since we were here last time, so we continue to grow, which is exciting. Collectively, the presentation says 60, but we haven't updated to we're now over 80% of the population finds itself within the union's membership. And our goals in existence are still the same as it's always been. So trying to build strong, sustainable communities throughout the province, and to help organize and tackle those local challenges that we all share collectively together to make life better for the citizens that our members serve. So
We do have this on the board behind.
yeah, great. I figured that was the case, but I was like, I don't want to be looking back the entire time and not looking at you folks. So the mission and vision are important to us, and what we want to do is engage and collaborate with all New Brunswick municipalities. So whether you're a city, town, village, rural community, whether in the north, the south, the central, wherever, we want to work with you to build sustainable communities. And we do that through advocating to provincial and federal governments and providing services that can help benefit your communities. And what we really want to see is being that member-driven organization, so our members set the priorities that we work on, and be that leader in New Brunswick for what we do. So essentially for us, we have 4 pillars that we work on a daily basis. So we want to unite the municipal sector, again trying to bring in as many members to our group as we can. We want to represent you collectively on issues that unite us as municipalities towards the provincial government. We always try to connect people, and we'll talk a bit about our member events later, which is one of our best ways to sort of connect with other councillors and other communities from across the province. It's a really useful thing. And then finally, it's really to inform you what's happening, again, from an advocacy perspective, maybe from a funding perspective, maybe from a training perspective. There's all kinds of things that come out from UMB on a daily, weekly basis in terms of opportunities that your council can take advantage of. So we just want to do that, and that's what we do to sort of help you do the jobs that you do. So that's really our mission and what we aim to do, and really it's what we've been living for the last couple of years. So with that, I'll pass it over to the president, and you'll get a better speech now than whatever I can.
Oh, I don't know about that, but again, I'm pleased to be here. Thank you so much for having us. Mayor and Council, really appreciate it. As Dan said, we currently represent 58 of New Brunswick's 77 municipalities, which represents about 80% of all of New Brunswickers. That's a very big voice, and the provincial government listens to our big voice. So that's a very important aspect. In terms of your zone 5 here, so there would be 2 seats at the table for folks in this region. Around the board table in terms of representation. But when I talk about representation, we represent all municipalities in New Brunswick, big, small, medium, rural, urban. We see all of those priorities as important, so that's an important aspect of what it is that we do. Our priorities are set by the membership. We don't sit in a room and say this is what we think the priorities should be. We're driven by what our members think is important. So all of the work we do is informed by our members and what their priorities are. So viable communities, collaborating communities, growing communities, green communities, safe communities, and healthy communities. These are all priorities that our members have said are what are important to them. So, and I said members do have input into what they are and the work that we do. And basically all of our resolutions fall under the headings that are just right up there. So the backbone of what UMNB does is advocacy, and advocacy is informed by the members through resolutions. So every year, all member municipalities have the opportunity to put forth resolutions at our annual general meeting, and this informs the work that the municipal association does through the upcoming year and years after, until the work is either completed or we just continue to work on that. So each member can submit resolutions for consideration, but only UMNB members can submit those resolutions, and only UMNB members can vote. And it's 1 vote per member. Doesn't matter what size you are, whether you're a city or a village or a rural community or a town, it's 1 vote per member. So that's an important aspect, I think, of the way that we operate. So some of our recent successes in terms of the advocacy work that we've done. This past year, we combined the 2 big municipal associations, UMNB and the Cities Association of New Brunswick, merged. So now that we're one larger municipality and municipal association, and that again, with that bigger voice means that we have more power around the tables that we sit. One of the things that we did that was really effective. I'm sure that everybody was paying attention to municipal issues during the most recent provincial election, and we put together a really amazing advocacy campaign that ensured that municipal issues were at the forefront of that campaign, and most specifically municipal fiscal reform, which is our #1 priority. It was our #1 priority last year. It's our #1 priority this year. It will continue to be our #1 priority until that process is finished. So another thing that we did was successful advocacy with the federal government in partnership with the provincial government around the renewal of the CCBF. I'm sure we all experienced the uncertainty that happened last year with not knowing when the CCBF payment was going to come out. Was it going to be tied to different things? How much is it going to be? So that's some of the work that UMNB does to push forward the priorities of municipalities across the province. So that's really important work. So I talked a little bit about our advocacy priorities and how completing the fiscal reform process was our top priority. We're neck deep in that work right now. And as soon as that's completed, hopefully to an excellent resolution, we'll be diving right into property tax and assessment reform, because the new provincial government has committed to doing that process. So we will be focused on that work in 2025 and into 2026. Improving cell phone and internet connectivity is an important priority for our members across the province. You know, it's an economic development issue, it's a public safety issue, it's a quality of life issue, and that's an important issue for our member municipalities. Addressing ambulance service in rural New Brunswick. Again, a really important priority that we've been working on in the past, and we will continue to work on until that is resolved to our satisfaction. RCMP advocacy. UMNB has a seat at the contract management committee, so that ensures that the voices of our member municipalities are heard at the national level around that table. So those are some of the advocacy priorities that we have been working on and we will continue to work on. Dan?
Sure. So I'm just going to run through quickly some of the member services that UMNB offers. Some of them you probably know about already. Others, we've got some new things that have come in the last couple of years. So in addition to sort of the canoe procurement program that you can have access to in order to reduce some of the costs on procurement, we've added a couple new programs this year. So we have a partnership with McGinnis Cooper Advisory and McGinnis Cooper on legal and HR matters. So if you want to do some, whether it's reviews of certain HR policies, or whether you have some training you want to do, you can access that at a discounted rate for as a UMNB member. So they offer those types of training, or whether it's a recruitment place, they can help with that. We've also entered into an agreement with BrokerLink Insurance for personal insurance. So it's not for the municipality, but as council members and staff, you can have access to a 15% discount on home and auto insurance. So it's just a nice thing to do. There's no obligation to take it, but I know some of our folks have used it and saved $500 or $600 on their policies year over year. So it's been a nice addition. And then the most interesting one that we've done over the last couple of years is the creation of a UMNB insurance program that's run through Canoe for general liability and automobile and that kind of thing. And so we've got 5 communities now who are making use of the service. Merrifield's community was the first in the province to get on side. And if you want to speak about that, you know more about it than
Yeah, so Canoe Insurance is not a traditional insurance model, it's a reciprocal model. It's a not-for-profit, so it's not looking to make profit on the backs of municipalities. It's associated with RMA Insurance, so the pool is Alberta, and the pool is now they're looking to expand their pool to diversify the risk is one of the reasons that they're moving out here. So when we're doing our budgets, we know that we have control over certain costs and we don't have control over certain costs. And generally the costs that we can't control, outweigh the costs that we can control. Insurance has been one of those costs that we can't control. And year over year, when I first started this job, we were getting jumps in our insurance of, 10, 15, 20%. And that's, on a budget, municipality my size, which is similar, I think, to the size of Central York in terms of population. It was a lot of money, and our coverage wasn't great. As an example, we wanted to do a family day event at a local golf course, and it was just an absolute nightmare to get our current insurer to cover that because it wasn't municipally owned property. So Canoe has given us better coverage, more flexible coverage, and we saved about $70,000 per year with Canoe, having better insurance. They do a lot of risk management programming with the municipality because they want you to be less risky. So they'll come and they'll take they just came and did assessments on all our playground equipment to let us know, what we need to invest in, what the risks are with specific types of equipment, all of that kind of stuff. Cyber insurance, they'll come and they'll do programming with your staff and your council. This is at no cost to the municipality. just to reduce your risk, which of course reduces the risk to the pool as a whole. We've been able to extend coverage to some of our community partners. We have different community associations, recreation associations that our previous insurer would not expand coverage to, and they are now extending coverage to them. So they're getting better coverage at a lower rate as well. So obviously, I'm a fan of the program. We've had an excellent experience with them so far. UMMB has a seat at the governance table as well. So that's an important aspect. It's we have more control in that aspect of things. So that's been it. We've had a great experience, and we're looking to to expand the municipalities that use the product as well. So when you are a member, you have access to it.
Yeah, so and that's, of course, like, there's no forcing you to join it, it's up to you, it's just, it's another advantage that you can access through our membership. So I'll do the hard sell now, I think, on why you should join.
You're already sold.
Oh, okay, great, I love it. But I mean, the stuff we've talked about, access to the network of municipal leaders, I think strengthening our voice, strengthening your voice, I think the collective piece is important. One of the things that we've started this year that I think would be of interest to you is we've combined all of our other members who are kind of the similar, I want to say vintage, maybe not the right word, but you just said, starting your third year. We've put together like the Alnwicks, the Butternut Valleys, the Fundy Shores to have sort of a working group at UMNB, because you guys are dealing with challenges that, Grand Bay Westfield or City of Fredericton or even other amalgamated communities that had at least a municipal base before, like you guys are getting off the ground. So we started a table around that to help lobby the government on sort of specific issues that you guys have, because they're so different than what other members are talking about. So I think that would be an interesting place, and I think your voice would help that group too. So we're working on getting together with the department here in the next couple of months on that front to talk about that and start trying to get those other things that you need. So obviously you're welcome to join that. The services that can help save your community money, training opportunities for councils, and then again, I think like the newsletter and other opportunities that we have to help you access different funding and training opportunities and like that. Just kind of close, I guess, with sort of some of the stuff that we have on the calendar so far this year. So last year we held our first UMNB Advocacy Days, which was a really important opportunity to engage with the provincial government on topics of interest. So our edition this year is going to be the 26th and 27th of March at the Crown Plaza. We're looking to have the leaders of the three main political parties in the legislature participate. We're looking at doing some stuff around the federal election that's going to happen sooner than later probably, and as well as have sort of a discussion on healthcare, recruitment and retention with the Minister of Health and the CEOs of the health authorities too. So it's going to be a good day and a half event, so that's coming up shortly. Municipality Week, September 14th to the 20th. Our AGM this year is October 3rd to 5th in the city of St. John. So it's the first time in a number of years that we've left Fredericton, so it's exciting. And then we have a whole bunch of webinars and other things that we have planned for the year to come to that, of course, you're welcome to attend. So with that, I guess maybe the question might be, or one of the questions is always, what would the dues be to join? And for this year, it would be $6,503.55. So that would be the dues for the year. We're in the year 2025. That's the year 2025. And so, the president and I go ahead. I was going to say,
I'll just sort of close it out with a bit of a pitch. I'm fairly new at this job. I've only been in municipal politics since 2021, and when I first started, I was like, "What is this UMNB thing?" And as soon as I realized what it was, I dove in obviously to feet first, and just I can't imagine being in the municipal sphere without being a part of UMNB. The resources that we get from staff, if there's programs, questions, etc., we can just call Dan up, or Brianna or Amy or Vanessa or anybody in the office, and they're there to provide support. the opportunity for collaboration and relationship building and learning that you get from coming together with your colleagues, whether it be on committees, whether it be at any of the events that we have, it's unmatched and it's very, very valuable. So hopefully we'll see everybody here at some of our events sometime soon, because we would really love to have your voices around our table informing the work that we do as well.
Okay, thank you. When I introduced Brittany, I introduced her as mayor and president, but I didn't say where she was mayor of, which is Grand Bay Westfield, so I apologize for that.
Okay.
We've been 2 years figuring this out, as you know. We thought we was going in for 2024, and we've been spinning our wheels, and we have committed for 2025. That's why I said you're already sold. So I think our CAO knew what the fee was, and whatnot, so we're already there. Don't know if it's paid, but it will be paid, so.
We haven't invoiced yet. I wasn't sure if you were in or out. We came in with the intention to get you in, so.
We're members for 2025.
Great.
But we do appreciate, the knowledge that you provided us here this evening. I'm sure that they'll all have a few questions. I have one or two I'll start with maybe. And who are the reps, the 2 reps now for our Region 5?
So for Zone 5 right now, it's Eric and Gary from the city of Fredericton and Alex Schulten from the village of New Maryland. Those are the two reps. Eric's got a year left on his term, and Alex just started their 2-year terms on the board, so we try to stagger them, but yeah, so Alex has got 2 years and Eric's got 1.5.
Great.
So
We tried dealing, our first year of existence, we tried dealing with Bell Alliant, because we have one of our major highways, Highway 104. It has a massive dead area for cell phone coverage. We have concerned residents, it's a dead area. Some people only have cell phones, they don't have landlines. And it's an EMO issue, like public safety. I'm hoping you people can help drive that. I had a chat with Bell Vice President, and they said there's nothing on the books for at least 3 years, so they wasn't going to expand cell services and cell towers and whatnot, so I'm hoping maybe as we are members that we can drive that forward to some degree. Like we even asked if there's any, like, can we help provide funding for a new tower, because the tower is, well, 2 years ago they said it was over $1 million, so I don't know what they are, but we asked if we could help with that, and it was just, there's nothing in the books for
Yeah.
in the future, so.
Yeah, we heard that, this is not the first time we've heard a similar story, and there is a space for government to step into spaces like that, because you can't expect private industry, to do it all. That they're doing it, they're profit driven. So in places like that where, you're waiting 3, 5, 10, maybe never years to get that tower, I think that
But we're
government
not
has a
talking
responsibility.
a back road, a dead end road. We're talking,
Yeah.
the 2 roads in Central York is 105 and 104, like
Yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
it's one of the 2 main highways, and it's a massive dead area.
We, I'm originally from Rexton, New Brunswick, and I spent a lot of my time commuting between Rexton and Moncton in an earlier day, and between Shediac and Moncton along Route 15, for instance, probably been one of the more heavily traveled roads in the province. There's a dead zone in Skiduk. You can't make a call from Shediac, so this is a whole of New Brunswick approach. And one of the things I know when we were at the FCM last month? Yes,
In December.
last month, yeah, in December, we were in FCM, and we had a few meetings with MPs where we were raising this again, because there's a federal need for them to get involved in this too. One of the things that we've learned is, from CRTC's perspective, we haven't gotten any funding in New Brunswick to improve our cell phone network, because according to the CRTC map, we meet the coverage requirements. But the CRTC map is policed by Bell and Rogers. They're the ones who are reporting to say, oh yeah, we're good. So there's an issue around that, obviously, and we all know what we drive, we know where the dead zones are. So one of the things that, we have a meeting with government on Friday to talk about exactly that cell phone
Yeah,
service.
this is not even a driving area. Yes, it is driving, but there's a lot of houses
Sure.
Yeah.
along that 104.
And how do you know, economic development, education, increasingly we're hearing from government around the need for, telehealth or like e-health. You know, how do you contact a doctor if you don't have cell phone service, right? Like, it's great in principle if you have the service, but if you can't access that, then it kind of leaves you in a little bit of a second-class citizen situation, so certainly something that we're gonna continue working on this year, no question about it.
Hopefully.
Online,
So, hang on. So we'll open this up to councillors, any questions they may have. Maybe each councillor just state what ward you represent as you address your questions to Brittany and Dan. We'll start with Councillor Downey.
Okay, so I'm Ward 7, Estes Bridge, rural area.
You have any questions you want to?
Not right off the top of my head right this moment.
Okay.
Dustin Brownlow, I'm councillor for Ward 1, which is Haynesville, Crown Mountain through to Zealand, so the 104 section that Mayor was talking about. Every time I come here, I have no service, so.
And I'm Cheryl, I represent Ward 3, and I do part of Sealand, and I represent the Kingsley, the Bridgewater area, and areas. Mine's not a question, mine is, my mom, years ago, and even yet to this day, has offered both service providers a piece of property to set a tower on. So they've got no excuse, and back of her house is really high up, but would meet the mountain, right? That would carry it to the Kingsley Tower. And anyway, she's offered it for years, so they got no excuse. And she said, I don't want nothing for it, I just wanna save people's lives.
So you can keep that in mind when you negotiate.
Yep.
And we donate Ridge Ward 2, and that is part of Route 105, which is from Lower Queensbury down to Maxpac, Scotch Lake, Scotch Settlement, up that way. I have one question for you, and that is, what does CCBF stand for?
The Canadian Community Building Fund, the former gas tax fund.
Oh, that lovely gas tax that I've
Yeah.
never yet understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These acronyms keep getting to you.
To us too, we're working them every day.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything? Deputy Mayor Forbes?
Yep, Jerry Forbes, Ward 5, I think, Ward 5. Pretty sure. The number, I can tell you exactly where the borders are. Birch Corner, Trip Settlement, Park Bridge. Yep. And not right off the top of my head.
Wayne Annis, Ward 6, so you're sitting in my ward right now. Starts at Curry's Mountain and just comes for most of Mount Keswick and then up along the Keswick River on both sides, heading towards Bird's Corner, most of the way up there. I would certainly echo what the mayor said in terms of communication difficulties within the valley and on council, we have a number of, well, there's 3 of us who are firefighters, and when it comes to emergency services, there's times the trunk radio won't work because of where we are. Cell phone coverage won't work. So when we're at emergency scenes, it's not all that many places, but we have places where neither will work. And if we were to have to call in to get some help, we were at a fire last spring, a forest fire, and the forest ranger who was there had to drive a few kilometers down the road to be able to talk to somebody to get some advice on how to proceed. So it's not just residents, it's also emergency services that can be impacted here, and that makes it even much more critical that we get some solutions for the infrastructure. And we're quite well blanketed, I think, now in terms of high-speed internet, but I still believe there's some areas of our community where they just stopped. They didn't go any further out to some of our residents, and it's hard for them to accept that, and it's hard for us to accept that when we have a standard of service for some of our residents, but not others.
And we have one sick councillor in it's Keswick Ridge Ward 4, Ken Drake, so. Anything else come to mind? We've gone around the
questions or anything like that, I mean, our info's in here, feel free to call or text or email or whatever, and we'll do our best to get you
Careful
the
what you wish
information
for.
you need. Oh, no.
Yes, and we're always looking for people to join our committees, so, if there's a specific interest in any of our committees, please reach out to Dan, and, like I said, we would love to have your voices around as many tables as possible.
Maybe you would just forward your committees to our CAO.
Yep. We'll have like a,
Councilor can think about it.
yeah, we have a guide, sort of a welcome to MND guide that we put together, so we'll send that out tomorrow with the other info, and then, obviously, whatever you guys would want, I'm happy to have you on board.
We're sorry this has taken a year longer than what we anticipated, but it's, like I said, we're just getting off the ground. This is just the beginning of the third year. It's been moving a fair-sized ship at a
Yeah.
slow pace.
There's no shortage of work, whichever way you wanna cut it, we understand that, so, no, we appreciate you coming in, and we appreciate you having us out tonight, and again, don't hesitate if we can be helpful.
Okay,
Thanks
thanks so
very
much.
much.
Yes,
Well,
and
thank
your
you.
worship,
Thank you.
council, thank you very much, and welcome.
You're you're welcome to stay, but I'm guessing you probably wanna hit the road.
I've been at the office since about 7:30 this
Yeah.
morning, so this officially now is at a 12-hour day, so I'm happy to go home now, if that's okay with everyone.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you very much.
Thanks.
Have a good rest of the meeting.
So we'll move back to number 5 on our agenda, the election of deputy mayor for 2025. So could I have a nomination for deputy mayor?
I would nominate Jared Forbes.
Any further nominations?
I'd like to throw my name in for that.
Okay. Any further nominations? One more time. Any further nominations? If none, we have 2 nominees.
I'm going to decline the nomination this time. I think it's good to have different voices around the table. I've done it for the first 2 years. It would be interesting to see what someone else could do with it. I'd like to maybe spend a little more time on some of our upcoming committees, so I would like to focus a little mental energy in that direction as well, so thank you for the nomination, but we're welcome to try something a little different maybe.
And I certainly would like to thank you for the 2 years. Most of it was good. There were a couple trying times, which I certainly appreciated your help and guidance and expertise.
Still here for that, anytime that it's needed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, we have 2 nominations. One has declined their name, so we'll welcome Councillor Dustin Brownlow as our deputy mayor for the next year.
Congratulations, sir.
You threw me.
Decline or something else.
Thank you, Stephanie.
No.
So we'll continue on to number 7, approval of previous meeting minutes for the Central York Rural Community regular meeting minutes from December 10th, 2024. And could I have a motion for that, please?
I so moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Councilor Forbes. Do I have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Brownlow. Thank you.
Oh, dear.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. Business arising from the previous meeting minutes. I have B, E, and F circled here. I'll start with those while you people are contemplating. The reciprocal agreement with the schools, looking to finalize that in the new year, and that's still down the road. That will be done in 2025, but as our CAO and I chatted today, we probably should have a rec committee struck or in place when we're doing that. I believe that was the thought, right? So It's not that it's neglected, it's just, we gotta get another step ahead of it, and it's down the road, so. The heaters and trailer, can you give us some
Sure
insight?
can. The company we decided to go with was United Rentals, and they had one heater available, so that was purchased. It came without piping, so I made that arrangements to get that purchased today. There was also a trailer purchased from the Woodstock area that would ably house that, and I worked on both of those, the heater and the trailer, with Chief Anderson. So they're in possession now of both one heater and the trailer, and then when United has more availability of heaters, which should happen this spring, we can look at purchasing the second one. The reason for United is price point, and they're giving us an excellent price point, and the products that we're buying from them, the heaters we're buying from them, are used. However, they're thoroughly checked over before we buy them to make sure they're serviceable. And in talking with Chief Anderson last night, they put it into service just to see how it was gonna work, and it's working excellent. So the second heater that's mentioned here in E will leave one for reserve if we have a power outage in the future.
Okay, so it's this one that's in operation is housed, other than the pipe, is housed at Keswick Ridge,
Right, and the pipe should be there within a week,
and the trailer's there.
Yep.
So the second one will be housed
wherever
until needed?
deemed that we should store it, whether it's here or Keswick Ridge or Keswick Valley, it wouldn't really matter as long as there's space.
It's available to both stations?
It will be,
Okay. Thank you.
welcome.
Street light update, I guess we had a little bit of that prior to council meeting. There's one light, I guess, pending of the two new ones, and I think all the rest of them are up, correct?
Think so.
We're just waiting for the last new one and the pole is in, so.
That is,
Okay, perfect. That's all I had for, I guess, action items from business arising from the minutes. Do you people have anything else, Councilor Ford?
It's not on this list, but it was on the previous new business list, our newsletter. I wanted to thank Duncan for having that out, it was well done, and it's nice to have that available to the public with lots of good information on it, so it was really nice to see that. I know that's isn't a question, it's more of a thank you, but it's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's
Councilor
available,
that may not have seen it,
there's available hard copies, or will be, if councilors want to take them and pass them out to residents that don't have internet, or a few stores or gas stations or whatever, so there will be some of those. So you just need to ask for them, I guess, so we don't print a bunch that's uselessly wasted. So. Any other action item from the minutes? Good. Correspondence, there's none. The committee report. The committee of the whole meeting from the minutes of December 10th, 2024. Could I have a motion to accept those minutes?
so moved.
Moved by Councilor Nash, do I have a seconder? Second by Councilor Brewer. Any questions, errors, or omissions? I have one error, I guess, I'll address. In attendance, I believe Councilor Edwards was here, will you not?
I believe so.
We'll add Councilor Edwards' name to these minutes before we approve them. Did anyone else have anything else, any errors, omissions, or questions? I waited to see if he's going to bring that up. All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any? Motion carried. The treasury report will happen January 28th, 2025 at the next council meeting. And I believe that'll be November and December,
Yes.
the 2 months because of the holidays. Chief Administrative Officer's report.
Thank you. My report is in regards to the new agenda item that we added to under new business 14G. So, you were well aware that we were approached by Desert Valley Regional Complex Incorporated Group to assist with some funding due to a construction, increase in construction costs. I initially thought and found out that we weren't able to assist out of our general funding. So we had kind of assist out of our Canada Community Building Fund funding. And in order to do so, quickly at the end of the day today, I had to come up with a 5-year capital investment plan in order to provide to local government to get approval for us to assist. So I didn't put this all in your packages, but I will describe to you what it is, and it is temporary. Because part of your strategic plan, your strategic plan will help develop the capital investment plan. So temporarily on here is actually another arena upgrade called Phase 2, and over 5 years, a total of, your total amount of gas tax that you are to receive over the next 5 years is $1,532,912. And I had to put down a description, and that we added another four change rooms, and then a huge common room for the public, heated common room, and other little items in this investment plan. But as I said, this isn't an actual investment plan. They just needed something on paper so they can give us approval.
And it'll be more concrete with strategic plan.
Absolutely. Like, yes, and you have to, obviously for 2024, we have our arena assistance on there, but for 2025, this year, going forward, right through to 2028, we know what your amounts are for each year, and that will be totally up to the council to decide where the money's gonna go. I just wanted to let you know that, and that's basically my report. So,
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the CAO report, please?
I'll move it.
Moved by Councillor Downey, second by Councillor Brewer. Any questions on the CAO report? None? All those in favor? Contrary minded, if any? Motion carried. My mayor's report, as I guess I stated previously, unless I have something real serious that I've kind of pulled away from that, I had a few opening remarks. And I'll try to stick with that unless there's a serious item for me to report on. So we'll move into new business. The first one, I guess, the councillor that's going to just read the motion, whoever's going to move the motion, if you would, please. Read the whole motions. Councillor Forbes.
A motion to give $145,992 of the Canada Community Building Funds to Desert Valley Regional Complex Incorporated to cover debt owing to King Construction due to increased construction costs of recent renovation.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Seconded by Councillor Brown. Any questions on this motion? None? All those in favor? Contrary minded, if any? Motion carried. I'll do the next one here then. A motion to approve first reading of the title of Bylaw 810, a bylaw respecting dog control in Central York rural community.
oh, that's a typo.
Okay.
Bylaw A11.
Okay. Just read that again. By title, Bylaw A11, a bylaw respecting dog control in Central York rural community. So I moved that. Do I have a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Annis. Any questions on this reading by title? If none, all those in favor? Contrary minded, if any? Motion carried. So on C, before we make the motion, we'll have our CAO read the bylaw in entirety.
Bylaw number A-11, a bylaw respecting dog control in Central York rural community. Council of Central York Rural Community under the authority vested in by Local Governments Act, SNB 2017, Chapter 18, whereas Section 10(1)K of the Local Governments Act states that local government may make bylaws for municipal purposes respecting wild, domestic, and exotic animals and activities in relation to them, including animal control activities. And whereas Sections 10(2)C and D of the Local Governments Act state that a local government shall make bylaws imposing a requirement of dog to be vaccinated against rabies, prescribing requirements for the proof of vaccination of the dog, requirements for the assessment of the effectiveness of a previous vaccination. Be it enacted by the Council of Central York Rural Community as follows. 1. Title: this bylaw shall be cited as the dog control bylaw. 2. Purpose: this bylaw is enacted for the purpose of dog control. 3. Definitions: dog control officer means the person or persons, group, or organization appointed by council to administer this bylaw. 4. Application: this bylaw applies to all residents of Central York Rural Community. 5. Operations: Central York Rural Community will engage the services of a dog control officer to carry out the operations of the control of dogs in Central York Rural Community. The dog control officer shall follow New Brunswick Regulation 2022-36 and its revisions and updates when it conducts control of dogs within Central York Rural Community.
Thank you. So would someone, Councillor, make that a motion, or just read in its entirety, the dog control bylaw?
Also move.
Moved by Councillor Ash, do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Brewer. Any questions on this bylaw in its entirety? Yes.
I have a question. For the vaccination, is that the same as the provincial legislation surrounding that?
Yes.
It is. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. If council would read D, please. So you, okay. The motion by Councillor Downey. Okay.
Motion to appoint Shannon and Buffett as auditors for Central York Rural Communities 2024 fiscal year.
Do we have a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Forbes. Any questions on this motion? None, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. A motion to approve the 15-year sublease with the province of New Brunswick for the new fire truck for the Keswick Valley Fire Department. I make that a motion, do I have a seconder?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Brownlow. Any questions on this? None, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. And could I have a councillor read F, please? Make it a motion as they start.
Motion to approve the professional services purchase agreement for municipal animal control with the SPCA for 2025.
Thank you. So you've heard the motion, do I have a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Downey. Any questions on this motion?
Is there a phone number?
For SPCA,
Yeah.
I would guess. I don't have.
So it would be the Fredericton one or the Moncton one?
There's like a one-time number.
Is there?
Okay, any other question? If none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. G, motion to approve the 2024 to 2028 Central York Capital Investment Plan. I make that a motion. Do I have a seconder?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Forbes, and that's the motion that you heard our or the document you heard our CAO read and CAO read. So any questions on this? None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, if any, motion carried. So other new business before we open it up to the councilors is, my alternate has been, Councillor Brownlow for the Capital Service Commission. In my license, which it hasn't been too often, I guess, maybe once or twice, but anyway, we need, whether you're willing, and if you're not, someone else, are you willing to retain that?
I can certainly stay on, but if somebody else wants to put their name forward.
Okay, so it's open to who wants to be the alternate service commission. You're good? Okay, I don't think we need a motion on that, do we? No, it's just a appointment, so, thank you, sir. Your first mandate is January 24th. We'll both be there with that one. Any other new business among our council that anyone has to bring up? No. All good. There's no closed session, so could I have a motion for adjournment, please?
Okay.
Moved by Councilor Edwards, we adjourn, do I have a second? Second by Councilor Knapp, all those in favor?